pouring now a much darker wine. Definitely dark here. Plenty of color extraction. That should appeal to everybody who like wine that original or the grape that come from Bordeaux, because the grape is called Carmenere. You're in Chile, you're in the Colchagua Valley. Colchagua Valley is really the heaven on earth. If you have any of those Bordeaux grape, Cabernet, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. Actually, they do a fair amount of Syrah as well, top Syrah. So you are 2 hours south of Santiago de Chile. And this Carmenere grape from Casa Silva arrived there from Bordeaux in the late 1800s, in the 1860s. So Carmenere has a lot of plum and chocolate, spice, things like that. So it's a fuller wine, but by the same token, you taste that and you think, am I in Spain? If you don't know the wine, it's there is a bit of that. It's not France, it's not Italy, it's definitely not the New World like the West Coast and Australia, etc. No. And after that, you arrive here in South America. South America, between Chile and Argentina, has a lot of original European sensibility in terms of food and wine. Now this is their own thing, of course. And but their wine all originate from Europe. All the wine around the world, they all come from Europe, frankly. Cheers. Plenty of cherries, black cherry. The plum, the chocolate is there, the spice is there, but by the same token, good acidity. I'm salivating for big red full wine. The tannins are not aggressive, insulting. They're really a nice thing. I get more of the chocolate thing. But if you like Cabernet from the West Coast, if you like Napa Cab, there is always a bit of mocha or coffee or chocolate intermingled. That's there. Long finish for sure. So definitely something that appeals to anybody that like any of the Bordeaux varietal. If you like Cabernet from the West Coast, that should be something you want to discover. It's a vegan wine, quite important. That means that no animal product, they don't find with anything that animal based, like shellfish or any gelatin and all the stuff. So that more and more you have to be aware of that if you practice vegan, of course. So Carmenere arrived in Chile in the late 1860s. It was a mislabeled. People from Bordeaux, right? Mislabeled as Merlot, and for a long time, for centuries actually, it was thought that they were growing Merlot. No, they were not. It was discovered 20 years ago, or less than 20 years ago, by a professor from the L'Université de Montpellier, which is an important wine, not only but wine program in France. And the guy, he's an ampelographer. Ampelography, it's a PhD level that study the varietal of vine, of Vitis vinifera, according to the shape of the leaves. Talk about, deep stuff here. And the guy realized that he was in the vineyard and said, it's not Merlot, it's the long-lost varietal of Carmenere that disappeared from France in the 1870s and 1860s. 1870s and 1880s, during the phylloxera attack. Phylloxera, this little insect, came into France, wiped France out of most of their vineyard. France had no vineyard in the late 1800s, believe it or not. And Carmenere completely disappeared, and they thought it was lost forever to civilization. And it was discovered again in Chile because they thought that was Merlot. The guy said, no, that's Carmenere. Talk about it's like finding the holy grail. In the wine world, that was a really big deal. So Carmenere, really exciting wine. I have a few because they are really interesting wine. If you like those big full thing. It's a new world, yes, but it has a lot of European sensitivities, which is what we can say a lot about the wine in general from Argentina or Chile in our case. So Carmenere from Casa Silva, from the valley of Colchagua. Cheers.